Welcome, everyone, to Total Nonstop Impact. Impact Talk for Impact fans. Right here, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you get your podcasts on the audio platforms. But it's Thursday, as we like to say around here. It's the TNI show. I'm joined by Alicia.
Me.
How you doing, Alicia?
I'm good. How are you, Bill?
All right, getting all ready for Turkey Day next Thursday.
I am absolutely ready to flow down the river of Mashed Potato Mountain.
Oh, that's a good river right there.
The Gravy River.
Did J-Bone already get on that river? Where the J-Bone is sadly not here with us tonight. He is having some technical difficulties. Some might say he hit the mashed potatoes early, but well, we'll give him a reprieve tonight. If you look closely, you may have seen J-Bone on the old program on Impact on Access TV, as well as the YouTube Premium Insiders. So definitely, you can get your take of the Bone Man right there. So, but I'm sure he'll be with us shortly. Hopefully next. Well, we got to see what we're going to do because I'm pretty sure Impact's going to be on next Thursday.
Yeah.
So we'll see what we wind up. I'm sure we'll do something. It might be abbreviated, but hey, if you haven't looked, Alicia, look above your head. Look.
I see eyes.
Cool. Well, do you see a new TNA?
Oh, yeah. Logo? Oh, God. I keep forgetting that that's a thing, that we're going to be TNA, not Impact.
Well, it will still be Impact, a TV show.
Impact TNA?
Coming. It'll be here. Well, remember, TNA is the company. Impact's the TV show.
Yeah. Yep, I see what
because they just announced, because I will not do J-Bone's news because J-Bone's not here. So this will be, and it's Alicia's here, and I know she doesn't like the fake wrestling news jingle, so I'm not going to do it tonight. I'm in the holiday spirit. But it was announced Impact will be returning, or at that time it won't be Impact. TNA will be bringing the Impact TV tapings back to Kissimmee, Florida, outside of Orlando. Shit. So they'll be back there the weekend after Hard to Kill and the Snake Eyes TV taping. So a few days will be a quick respite, and then on to sunny Florida. Not a bad place to go in the middle of January. So a good choice by them as and also TNA, a lot of history in Florida, so it makes sense to have an early taping after that. So but once again, that confirms the logo and the name of the TV show, Impact, continuing just like under the previous TNA regime. But
dope.
Let's say hello. Well, first, thanks for I did see Bell's Boy here with the big super sticker. Thank you as always, Bell's Boy. Evening all. Well, Randy Orton could return tomorrow night. MJF is friendless. NWA is going to have layoffs. Beta Scott told MLW to bugger off. Delirious and Mandy Leone got hitched. And Kenny King is gone from Impact. Much love. Much love to you as well, Bell's Boy.
Thank
and we're
you.
Going to give you a little bit of
the Demore.
The one, the only. The Demore.
Impact Wrestling!
Right. And well, before we get off the comment there, yes, definitely congratulations, because Delirious, we know, has been working with Impact there. And Mandy Leone, been together quite a while since the Ring of Honor days. So congrats to them. But Kenny King, I know Fightful had recently put this out. It may have been during the show or right before the show aired, that Kenny King had asked for and was granted his release, which obviously he was on tonight's show in a losing effort with Sheldon Jean. But what are your thoughts on this with Kenny King? I'm a big Kenny King fan, always have been. Former 2-time X Division champion. But after that DMC title run, which was very enjoyable with some good fun with Joe Hendry, and then obviously he had a little bit of a tag team, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see Kenny King again at some point. It seems like he always has a spot here, but one of the last remnants of the Honor No More.
Oh yeah,
looks like they're on their way out. Only PCO, who was almost on his way out.
That's the business. You know what I mean?
That
Can't keep them all, especially here at TNA. We tend to be a revolving door of fresh faces.
And it always did feel like with this break at the end of the year here that we're going through, because obviously this is some fallout still from Chicago. That's Bound for Glory. You had the stuff over the UK. You got the holidays coming up. Not until really Las Vegas is everything going to kind of start back up again. So I'm sure you're going to see some changes as we get back in. But until people show up somewhere else, I would never put anybody totally out of the picture. Because I know there's some other people that have been rumored. I know there was a lot of hubbub the other day about Mickie James not being on the roster page anymore. And then I think it was even came out later, like she's just taking one of her normal breaks and will be back whenever she wants. That's like the wind. Yeah, she can do whatever she wants. But I think Mickey's pretty because as we're going into the TNA phase here, I'm sure we'll be seeing Mickie as well. And then everybody, the whole thing about we'll go over the results, but Heath I know has been up. The rumors have been, and I don't know, based on what you saw tonight, do you think he's gone, or do you think that's just maybe once again maybe on hold for a bit?
Who knows?
There's definitely some teasing of a former tag team of his, so we'll see what happens there. But we'll go over all that as we progress.
Works for me.
But let's also say hello. We do got the one and only Kevin Martin in the chat.
Ew.
Kevin on the show. And thanks for the bits, Rayline. Team Twitch in the house. And also, hello to everybody. I see Justin in there, who was at the tapings as well. Terrence, Dr. Gerbs, Mayor. Oh, Mayor. Mayor normally makes the Pembroke Pines, Florida tapings. Not sure if he would make his way over to the Central Florida tapings. So, but maybe. Barry, Bonkers, Gary, everybody here, and J-Bone, he's on the whole TNI chat bot, so you can talk to J-Bone. He's still here in spirit,
just not visually and audibly. Audibly. Wow.
There's not a lot of J-Bone to go around, but that's okay.
It's okay.
But so we definitely like that. That's like the big news got kind of covered there. So we'll pretty much get into the show. I don't see why not. Anybody else wants to pick up some stuff? We'll stay tuned to the socials if Impact puts any information out in like the next 10-15 minutes as we're going along. We'll give you a little dose of it. J-Bone's having too much fun with the chat right now, but that's
sometimes it's nice to just do that.
It is good, just especially when you get the technical issues. I know once or twice I was on the road and in hotel Wi-Fi that wasn't working too good, and it was just like throw your hands up, you give up, hop in the chat, have some fun there, old school it as we like to say, but. Oh, there's John Palmer, who I believe we both ran into. I think we may run into him up at New York. And then Eddie in the chat, who was also there at the taping. So everybody's here. It's the whole fam. The TNI fam's here. But what we have tonight is the November 16th edition of Impact on Access TV and the YouTube Ultimate Insider. So this one really heavy matches, I'd say, just going into it, as opposed to like a real promo heavy show. This definitely was a match heavy show, which not a bad thing at all. But starting it out with one of my favorites, I can't help but feel I was a part of the build-up of the ABC getting these titles, so it's good to see them with them. But a nice little opener for the straps here, for the titles. Ace Austin, Chris Bay defending against who looks like on the way out, Kenny King and Sheldon G. Alicia, your first thoughts on this opener, this tag team extravaganza?
Put on the spot. Oh wow, words. Wow. A little predictable considering the news that we got in regards to Kenny. But a nice way to see him out, I suppose, is to give him an opportunity at those tag belts with his short-term, maybe long-term partner, Sheldon Jean. You know, I was thinking while you were saying their names, I didn't realize how much they sounded very similar. Kenny King, Sheldon Jean.
Yeah. And because of Santino, we call him Sheldon Jean so much, but
Sheldon Jeans.
He is Sheldon Jean. And it is interesting because if you look at it, and if you believe that Sammy may not be returning, he went out the same
Don't
way.
remind me. Yeah.
A tag team
Rich.
title.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So
it's interesting. I hate careful tag teams. Because it seems that
watch out.
Fighting ABC is going to break the band up.
Yeah, a loser may leave town. You never know. So definitely interesting. Here's a little T. Hughes tidbit, loose segment of the show. Small little tidbit. Scott D'Amore started following Top Dollar on Twitter.
Who's that?
So that's so other people can speak better than me on that. I know Top Dollar was in that group that was fired in WWE, then was rehired during all the transitions. And I'm not sure if currently with or with not. Maybe not anymore. I'm not positive, but
okay.
So I
great. All right.
But
so
Scott D'Amore does follow a lot of people in the industry.
I feel like
there's J Bone's opinion.
Well, not Top Dollar. If J Bone says that it must be scandalous. Yeah, I feel like you kind of have to have your hands in all the baskets when you're in Scott's position, so it's not necessarily a guarantee that he's following, that there's a thing going on there, but I would be weirded out for him.
You know what's interesting mentioning Scott D'Amore?
Oh, okay.
Just because you're talking about he was following somebody there.
Yeah.
I'm not big on Instagram. I don't do a lot on
Yes.
Because that's one of those things where if you're not active on it and doing it a lot, you don't do it at all. Like that's kind of one of those things. So I'll just occasionally check in for messages for the most part. But I go on there and I notice I got a notification that Scott D'Amore is following me on Instagram.
Oh wow! Look at you
on Instagram. I give him kudos because I barely know I have an Instagram. On the other socials, a little bit more active, but kudos to that.
Oh, that's wonderful. Good for you, Bill.
My guess is somebody else that does follow me is how that happens.
He followed you. That must mean you are now going to be an Impact or TNA Impact.
Maybe. You never know.
It's going to take a while to get used to that.
TNA, come on.
I gotta erase the Impact part of it unless it's on review day.
Well, it's still Impact, so you're still right. Because it's still,
I should get my TNA video game
TV show. Oh, there you go. We might actually have to do that on the Twitch.
I would love to, but I don't. I have my PlayStation 2 here and everything, but I don't have the connector cord. So I gotta find a game place that I could buy those at.
But can't we just use like an emulator on those things at this point?
I don't know.
I don't know the details of these things, but we'll figure it out. If not, I'll have to do my little my hand puppets and all and
reenact it.
Yeah, that's what I used to do. But,
it's funny because I got that game and I was really excited about it, and then I realized you couldn't be a female in the game, and I never really played it much after that.
I know there was. I don't think it ever came out. The mobile game, like.
Oh yeah, no.
Like I know it was in development. It may have came out, or it may be out there somewhere on the interwebs. But I don't
like
know
an RPG or like a.
No, it was still like a wrestling game. It was like
okay.
But it was like one like designed to be played on like the phones and stuff back then.
Then? Oh God, no wonder it fell through. Games back then were
it was too early in the phase for that.
Yeah, now they could totally get away with it. Do like a Impact card game, like art tabletop RPG.
There you go.
There is
RPGs and old school. I just found this out like the other day because I remember in high school, like Magic the Gathering coming out. And being
my husband plays that
for a bit, and it was like a thing for a bit, and then it seemed like it was a fad that kind of went away like a year or two later. But I guess it never did, and now it's like the biggest it's ever been.
Yeah, my husband just did a tournament a couple weeks ago.
I totally missed that became huge at some point. Yeah. Like I think I have a junior year of high school.
Oh, God. Okay.
But that was like I probably still have my binder of cards somewhere. I should actually like dig them out at this point. But
yeah, you should. Some of them might be worth a good amount of money.
Yeah, because I would have no clue what I'm doing with that anymore. But just a heads up on when we're talking. Since you said RPG, you made me think of that. I've been noticing that everywhere the last couple weeks.
It's a big deal.
It is a big deal. Well, speaking of a big deal. We go from that opening tag team match to a tag team on the other side in the Knockouts division. We get a promo from MK Ultra, Masha and Killer Kelly, that they're going to reshape the Knockouts division and they're unstoppable. Tough to argue with that.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about our champs?
I think they're killing it, and they're going to continue to kill it.
Do you see any potential hurdles in their way coming up?
No, I don't. Actually, it would take an act of God to end this reign of championship runs for this team.
Tag team name, Act of God.
Act of God. It would take an act of God to end this run.
Probably
I'm
not
a big fan. It's a good thing I didn't buy a shirt because you know how Impact runs lately. They were all sold out of the MK Ultra stuff. So,
well, who knows? Like, maybe you can get that "Where My Witch Is At" shirt on the
it was sold out too.
Now that is something I'm hoping with the return of TNA on the horizon. Mm-hmm. That Shop Impact, or maybe the soon-to-be Shop TNA, brings back a lot of their big holiday deals. Like, I got so much of my TNA merchandise years ago. I know Don West, Hall of Famer, RIP, was a big factor behind all that. But I got so much stuff back in the day from that store. Like, where it would be like, if you spend, I think it was something like $45, you got the free shipping, a free gift, Black Friday specials. Like, you would just load up. I think even a couple of years ago, remember we all got like, it was like 5 t-shirts for like 20 or $25, something like that.
Yeah,
crazy t-shirt deal.
I forget what the price was, but it was like 5 t-shirts.
It wasn't a lot. Yeah, it was like 5 t-shirts for like, I don't even think it was $50. I have a feeling it was like not a lot. Like, I felt like it was almost like $5 a shirt. It was crazy.
They're all really good shirts too. They're all like real comfortable and soft and stuff.
And there we go. Critical Sting nailed it. Affliction t-shirts. I want my Affliction shirts. I gotta bring them out of the closet. Get the mothballs off.
So I remember this Affliction era, but I never understood what it was.
I get connected to Wi-Fi.
Who was it?
It was the creepy AI thing Stefan has in his house.
They say it's taken over. They say it's taken
yeah,
over.
It's always listening. Did you hear that? I don't even know what I said. I just said, like, what's the affliction?
Say hello to Ash in the chat. Hello, Ash.
Hey, Ash.
All right. And then, and it's never too late to bring back classic design.
But I'm still lingering on what was the affliction. Was it like an MMA?
It was. I consider it a design. I consider it design.
I thought it was like
an
an
very
MMA
much
thing.
like the MMA things.
Oh,
and people
yeah.
here can even speak better to it. The affliction style, like TNA, I had that too.
It's cute.
I had a couple. I didn't have a lot of affliction shirts. I think I had.
That's like when everybody got tribal tattoos. How adorable!
It was an error. It was an error. Oh, Justin doesn't like the splat. Oh, all right.
Oh, you don't like the kumquat?
Yes, none of that.
It's the best AJ Styles shirt that nobody can own anymore. And I'm sure the people who do have it are like, I don't want to wear that anymore.
Most people aren't. Like, I think there was an error of wrestling t-shirts, but then I say that, Alicia, and I'm not going to talk about other companies. But there's t-shirts that I don't know how people wear them.
Yeah.
Like there's very, like, where do you wear that other than a wrestling show?
Yeah.
And like, are you covered up before you walk in that building and then just like unleash it like Superman?
Some of them are super. Yeah, some wrestling shirts are super aggressive. And if you don't watch wrestling, it goes over people's heads, and a lot of the times it's like, are you threatening me? Like, what's happening here? You look unhinged. Absolutely unhinged wearing something like that.
There, I agree. So we go back to my favorite, everyone's favorite, Moose, with Bad Mood Brian in his corner against Heath, everyone's favorite one-man band. Now, obviously, you had some shenanigans in this match. Where Heath was outnumbered by the man on the outside.
Yeah.
The briefcase was coming into play, but Moose does get the win. He's obviously going for that world title against Alex Shelley at Hard to Kill. But what would you think of this? And what maybe is Heath's last match for the time being?
Much love to Heath, but what's to be expected when you've got Moose and old shenanigans Brian Myers playing hot potato with the briefcase and then using it as an old hoodwink tactic to really hold Moose on the rope so Heath couldn't land his move, and shit happens. That's wrestling, baby.
Yeah, it does.
That's
in my ass.
Yep. What he said.
Because obviously Heath, I'm a Heath fan. I always say on the TNI show that Heath he gets one of the best reactions at live shows. Like, he is always way over. And he just kudos, like, he's about one of the nicest guys out there. Because very down there. If I still remember, like, I went down to Georgia with my buddy Dave to Laredo Pro, Doc Gallows promotion. And it was before, like, it was during COVID, before I saw him in Impact. But I knew he was coming to Impact. And, like, he just did, like, kind of a meet and greet. And he was, like, the anti-WWE guy stigma of him. Like, where it's, like he's very engaging, like wanted to talk. And then out in Vegas when they were doing a meet and greet, like he just talks. He's talking about this and that. He's very down to earth. And then bowling up in Albany, he was obviously a very good bowler.
Yeah,
very good bowler.
Well, I think that's why the fans gravitate towards him, and he does get such a good pop. Is because they can sense the genuinity. off of him, that he's just a good character overall. It's like, I don't even think, I feel like a lot of people can flip from face to heel, but I don't think I ever want to see Heath in a heel position because he's too good of a baby. Like,
he's too good of a
he's
baby.
A good egg.
Honestly, he was a heel up north for a while, I think.
Well, God,
but that was a whole different thing. But Heath of today, he's just like, it's like Tommy Dreamer going heel today.
You only become a heel because they don't know what to do with you, and that's why most of the roster are heels.
Well, that is a way, because it's tough to be a babyface. It's not easy. It's easier to be a heel.
Yeah. Well, I remember. Speaking of, that reminds me of a story of someone who's currently on the Impact roster, but when she was doing Total Divas, I remember a lot of her storyline at one point was when she did her first heel turn and how difficult it was for her because she's not a heelish person, doesn't have like that kind of personality. So it was difficult for her to portray that. And there was a lot of anxiety of, was it showing through? Was she convincing enough? And, so you're right. You're absolutely right.
And Justin, he was out there with me in Vegas when talking to Heath. So, but as people are saying, like, Kenny King's already off the roster page that quick, but he's still on there. So I'm going to still hold out hope that, like, maybe it's a contract thing being worked out like PCO was, and we do see a return of Heath, because I think he's one of those guys that, like, the roster, like we talk about the Impact TNA family roster. I think Heath's a big part of that. So I definitely like to see him back for the TNA run.
Oh, baby!
But we go from the shenanigans of that match to the aftermath, where you get Moose and Myers in the back, because obviously Rhino made the save at the end of the match there. The take out Myers.
He's a good old boy.
That's right. But then Moose is saying, final resolution, Rhino, I'm going to end your career.
Fighting words. I'd like to see you try.
So final resolution, Rhino, Moose. The Safari match.
The Safari match. Yeah, I was just going to say it's going to be Rhino versus Moose. We're going to see who the real king of the jungle is. But a moose is an Arctic creature. Oh, God. Geology and animals. Am I right, guys?
Yeah, they can do anything. So that's going to be a fun final match. Oh,
no,
did you what?
I'm not going to go. I was going to say, you know that the natural predator to a moose is a killer whale?
Really?
Because moose can swim, and killer whale are
big
up there, up in colder waters.
Now, I'll tell you what. If you were like in a boat in the Arctic waters and like you saw like a moose in the water, would that be like one of the most like what the hell? Like you would just freak out?
No, because I've seen it. It's real. It's a real thing. Water? Moose swim. So the reason why they're the killer whale is their natural predator is because they deep dive. They go in the water and they dive. They swim in the water, and the killer whales come up and nab them. Otherwise, nobody fucks with moose. Yeah, dude, Google it. It's like thing. Like, it's real. Critical Sting, get on that. Let them know.
There you go.
But yeah, so he's lucky that Rhino is not a killer whale. It's not called killer whale.
He's just a wino. He's just a rhino.
He's just a rhino.
He's a war machine rhino.
Which, a lot of the times, rhinos are just aggressive because they have bad eyesight.
That happens.
Accidentally aggressive. Oops.
Yeah, you don't want to be accidentally aggressive. But speaking of aggressive, we got the Rascalz up next. The original Rascalz, with Myron Reed making his debut in Impact Wrestling, along with Trey Miguel, Zachary Wentz, teaming up against the Lucha team.
Yes.
Of Laredo Kid, Black, Taurus, and the Juice, Juventud Guerrera. And Conan, serious as something, if I recall, on commentary with Tom Hamilton and Matthew Raywald.
Yes.
So you get this Lucha Rules, obviously, but Chicago, big Lucha Mexican wrestling territory. So the crowd's loving it. I'm loving it. The people are loving it. What'd you think of this trios 6-man tag team action?
I think we're all winners, not wieners in this situation. Very high energy, fun match. I will tell you what, though, I did expect that the Rascalz would have won it.
I thought so too, even though they weren't going to send the fans home happy. I didn't think so.
Yeah, they gave it was fan service, especially because you got Juventud Guerrera in the TNA ring for the first time in.
Well, not TNA yet.
You know what? Just let me stop.
Close.
You know what? We're gonna start it now because I need to start familiarizing with that name again.
Yeah, well,
so
you won't have much longer to do it because at Final Resolution, they're like labeling it. It's the end of Impact Wrestling.
It starts this show.
Like it ends there. Like take down the ring apron. It's done. TNA everywhere after that. So
I'll allow it. But I need to just start. I need to start. And it starts here on TNI now.
TNI now. Well, TNI. Can we just say like the TNI? We never got rid of TNA really here. We just stayed with it.
Yeah.
We embraced it. And now it came back to us. TNI on TNA.
I used to think TNA stood for tits and ass.
Well, you're not totally.
I mean, I'm not wrong, but I'm just saying as well.
If you go back, younger, there will be those in the know that say that was part of the in-joke.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I mean, there were. But yeah, when I was younger, because I was young when I was like, oh, TNA stands for tits and ass. What kind of a wrestling company calls themselves tits and ass? Not this one, because it was total nonstop action, not tits and ass.
That's all right. You can always do a double entendre. That's our whole show here.
Eyebrows. Can you see them? Like, wink, wink.
Wink, wink. Except for the audio listeners.
Oh, well, eyebrows are winking. I can't actually wink.
You can't wink?
Not well. Did I do it? Maybe. Anyway, onward.
All right. So onward to we got to go over the result here. Obviously,
the
Luchadors win. The Luchadors win. That was the
big thing. I was going to say they gave them the fan service.
They did, but usually they haven't. The Luchadors, especially Taurus, getting the win here, huge, because it hadn't happened in a while. Like pretty much all the Luchadors were losing every match. So this was good to see. And shout out to Juicy, still fantastic in the ring. Guy that's been doing it for a long time, and
I saw him recently. Well, as whenever he was in XPW recent, so in the past year.
There you go. He's been everywhere. He just keeps showing up. Very cool. But now this is an interesting tag match we had next. A mixed tag match. Steve Maclin and KiLynn King versus Jordynne Grace and Bully Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, this goes back to some previous things going on here, especially the Bound for Glory, the Gauntlet.
Ongoing storyline.
Yeah, obviously, Jordynne and Bully have been going at it for a while. But do we have it? Good guy bully in this match?
No. Because we all are going to go back. Here's a quick history lesson. This the Tommy Dreamer's like, I vouched for this guy. He's changed. He's a good guy. And guess what? No,
nowhere else do you get a Tommy Dreamer impression other than this show.
He's a good guy. Trust me, I know him. He's only stabbed me in the back 100 times. He's a great guy. He's changed. What murder? Anyway, I always just, whenever Bully Ray is involved in a storyline, I'm like, he's up to something.
So even though they did shake hands at the end, he raised her hand,
he kind of gave her a hard time about it.
Long play of he's going to turn on.
He's done this before.
We've seen this story before.
Are they teaming? What is are they teaming up? What are they going to have a match? Like, what is it? What is the reason?
You're right, because she's obviously going to face Trinity at Hard to Kill.
Yeah.
For the title. But where does Bully fall into this?
Oh, is it helping Trinity? No. Like, it doesn't make, you know what I mean? Like maybe something regarding Final Resolution or a fallout from there, but like obviously you have two faces in Trinity and Jordynne. Could Jordynne go to the dark side with it's
Bully?
Been teased.
He was
instead of Big Mama Pump, she'll be little Bully.
Oh.
Big Mama Bully. I don't know.
Bully.
Sorry.
Just going around, beating people up in the back.
Pushing them around. And I'll say, because when they were doing the segment before with Steve Maclin and KiLynn King in the back, KiLynn's like, this isn't the Bully that I know. Like, this is, you know what I mean? And I just feel like this is a long play. Like, it's either to get Jordynne on the dark side or something, but I don't know. It just feels gross.
It's tough to deny. Bully has a history of such things. And he can usually not be trusted, at least long term. Because Bully's going to do what's best for Bully in the end, because that's what Bully does.
A snake only sheds its skin to become a bigger snake. You're welcome.
There you go. What happens when you cut the head of a snake?
It dies. It's not a worm, Bill.
That's right. It dies. Correct. Right answer.
You're welcome.
Now, so we obviously, so we'll see what happens there. But Bully and Jordynne, they get the win, but we'll see what happens going forward. So now we get the first of our two first-time ever matches, as we get Trinity with a non-title match defense against Sonny Kiss, who we saw debut at Bound for Glory. So, yes. And I know they were kind of going on social media about doing something at some point, and it happens here. The match happens. Gave it a good amount of time. What'd you think of this one?
I'm ready for the team up.
Okay.
It was a fun match. I feel like they did a lot of really fun spots because they're two peas in a pod, and that's why I want to see them in a tag team.
More partners.
Now, if you put them in a tag team against MK Ultra, I think you're stepping in something that might potentially derail the beast, but. Okay. And that might be wishful thinking. I mean, Impact, there's some food for thought.
Okay, all right.
You can use that.
They could be the wrath of God or whatever.
They could be exactly the act of God that stops MK Ultra in its track.
All right. So I like that. But obviously, after a good match, Trinity gets the win here.
Yes.
So be interested to see what Sonny Kiss, the future in TNA coming up.
I think it'll be good. I'm happy Sonny decided to come to Impact.
Agreed. So we go backstage, our last promo of the night before the main event here, and we get Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, world title, X Division champion, Motor City Machine Guns. They're talking about Final Resolution and their opponents, Josh Alexander, and the debuting for an official Impact show, Zack Sabre Jr. They talk about how they're both great technical wrestlers, but you got the two champions here. You got the Motor City's Machine Guns.
Well-oiled machine guns.
Yeah, who have always accomplished everything. And then, Sabin's just killing it at the end, just saying, well, the best of their generation here. And then he goes, MCMG out. He did like a mic drop on us here. Chris Sabin. Hail Sabin.
Yeah. The most heelish faces you'll ever meet is the Motor City Machine Guns.
I'll tell you, half the time they
walk that fine line.
It's a fine line. Like Sabin, in ring, Sabin doesn't do it as much. Shelley does it in ring all the time. Like he's on the
Shelley
but in a
Wick.
promo, Sabin will. Like Sabin in a promo is the one that usually he gets closer to crossing the line a lot of the time. But it's they love to be close, which is very entertaining.
Yeah.
David Penzer in the chat.
Hello.
There should have been a promo with Walter Chestnut. Walter Chestnut, the great manager from the old IPWF feuds. I would have loved to see that. And who knows?
Maybe we will.
IPWF, they might find footage. You never know. They always find footage once a year, it feels like. So I'm looking forward to some IPWF. One of my favorites.
Like Blair Witch Project uncovering those tapes.
and you can't go wrong with that.
Good to see you, Penzer.
Yes. The best. But that gets us to our main event. First time ever match. One of the heart and soul guys of the company. The walking weapon, Josh Alexander, against who many say the best wrestler in the world today, Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay. What the Billy Goat Bird?
Yes, but the Billy Goat.
The Billy Goat Bird, because Ospreys are birds. I don't know if you know that. I know a lot about animals.
Well, I've done work down at I used to go down to like Boeing down in the city where they make the Ospreys.
Oh,
the Choppas. Get to the
Choppa. Fancy. To the Choppas. Good impression. That's really cool. Yeah. Well, this match was pretty wild, I'll say. And they gave it the time slot I think they needed for it.
Yes.
And, I got to tell you a little something. I was a little surprised that Will Ospreay got the win on this. But from what I'm told, he's a really big dude rising up in the ranks in the business. So, I guess
the kid's got
credit where credit's due. The kid's got a future. He's going to make it big. Right. Huh?
I'll tell you, Skylar, watch out. The ultimate good hand, Will Ospreay. But obviously going undefeated in these matches since Bound for Glory. Can't help but be impressed. Like I said, even just doing the media, like the interviews and just putting over the company. I don't think that's the last we'll see of him. I have a feeling we will see him again because he's been very, very optimistic. But we do know he's supposedly a free agent on the horizon. He's going to be a hot commodity, and there's a lot of companies out there that are going to do the Jerry Maguire, show him the money. It's not gonna be an easy thing, but we'll see. Could be a flexible thing. You never know. Like nobody ever thought the Good Brothers would have signed with Impact those couple years ago, and obviously you got Trinity that surprised a lot of people. So it wouldn't shock me. Like that, the relationship has been good. That's only positive. So, but a guy that puts on some of the best matches. That's not a bad thing at all. So that's very cool to see, and hopefully we get to see more of it because, like Josh Alexander, great opponent. Mike Bailey, great opponent. But look at the roster, like all these type of matches you can have, and that's just kind of we're scratching the surface right now. So definitely could see some good stuff going forward. But great main event. Definitely nothing, no complaints there.
No.
Let's just see if Impact did put out anything, because we know next Thursday is Thanksgiving, and it is also Impact on Access TV night. So let's just see if they're promoting anything yet for the show.
Maybe a clip show. I won't be home, so I won't be able to watch it anyway.
Oh. Are you on the road for
Yeah.
So you're not doing the dinner at home at your house. You're heading
No. We're going to my parents' house.
Okay. Very cool. Nothing wrong with that. Now they did air, so just a heads up, go on the social media. Will Ospreay, after the match, the promo he cut, it is on the social medias of Impact Wrestling right now, and where he says, I need to set foot in a TNA ring. So definitely check that out. Very cool promo from Will Ospreay. So definitely check that out. No details yet on anything, just to make sure there was no other news that came out post show. But I think it's pretty much. I think we'll see more in the next coming days on everything coming up for next week. But I have a sneaking suspicion there obviously will be a show format of it, just like up until these last 2 weeks. We don't know. It could be a mix of studio, some matches, could be clips at some point. As we get into holiday weeks, you never really know. So just stay tuned. They'll start promoting it. But it's just in case. So no matter what kind of show it sounds like we're not going to probably have you next week, Alicia, no matter what.
No, unfortunately, I'm sure I'll be terribly missed.
We may, you will be. You definitely will be. So in case you won't be here next week, let's give our thanks. Our thanks for Impact Wrestling. What are you giving thanks for this year?
I'm just thankful that Impact, soon to be TNA, is always at their top game when putting on a weekly show for us fans. Yay. Everybody does their best, you know what I mean? So thankful for having the option to watch TNA / Impact / whatever we're calling it now. It's like,
oh yeah. No,
I'm thankful for consistent storytelling. I'm thankful for the great selection of wrestlers and everything they're doing. So great.
You're right. Because you're right. Yeah, definitely thankful for. Well, we're going on. We're at 21 years now. Over 21 years.
Old enough to drink.
Yeah. So card this company. But thankful for obviously all the good times, all the good people here that join us on this weekly show. That's all over the place to talk about the company we love, Impact Wrestling, soon to be TNA, because Alicia's done calling it Impact Wrestling.
It's TNA now.
It's TNA now. That's right.
Impact is the show.
Impact is the show. It's the zone. It's all that.
That's great.
But now thankful for the crew, J-Bone, wherever you are in technology abyss. Keep on keeping on, buddy. And we'll I'm sure we'll be on. Might be like I said, we're me and Alicia, we're the under an hour crew. That's what we do.
We're the East Coast crew. We both work in the morning, so
that's right. So So we'll be wrapping it up. But
lightning round.
We will be doing it again because if there's an Impact show, there's going to be a review of some kind. So everybody, as you're getting ready for the holidays, for those in Canada that have already celebrated, but definitely see the family, see the friends, eat, be merry, and we will see you all next week. Any parting words, Alicia?
Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful thing.
That is true. It is a wonderful thing. So until next week, here, same place. Don't forget, you got to hit that like button. You got to hit that sub button. Ring that bell for notifications, for you always know when we're here to talk about a little thing we call Impact Wrestling. TNA very soon, but not quite yet. So we'll definitely be back soon, sooner than later, with J-Bone. And who knows? A new year? Maybe Trent? Maybe the Scumbag? Maybe
they're still around.
Other people? Like, who knows? Maybe people will show up. TNA? Are you telling me some of these people aren't going to show up when TNA is coming back?
Yeah,
I think some of them will. So we'll see what happens. So definitely, everybody, take care, and we'll see you soon. Have a good night.
Because I like scumbags.